Hello and welcome to the John Brewster podcast. I'm here with my lovely partner, Sarah, and we wanted to talk to you about our morning routine. And the first place to start actually is the night before. So,
Dun, dun, dun.
what we do, and real quick, just to preface, the point of a morning routine is, at least in my opinion, to set the foundation for you to have an amazing day from an energetic perspective. Because if you roll into the day, which so many of us have, and if we look at our phones right away, it's so easy to start reacting and start having the day take control of you versus you take control of the day. So we hope that us having this quick discussion about what's been working for us and also what has not worked for us and what we've learned while implementing our own morning routines together as a couple and also as individuals, maybe it'll help someone out there. So let's start with the night before.
Yeah.
So night before, I've made it a thing recently to turn off lights and get lights dimmer to get that circadian rhythm going. So as the sun goes down, I try to limit how much light I'm taking in because it just helps me like fall asleep faster when we actually do fall asleep. Mm-hmm. And we love to listen to sleep meditations, like shout out Doxy. Before going to bed, and waking up, setting an alarm for typically 5 a.m., which recently we've been sleeping in a little bit since there's been some flow changing around, but mostly we wake up around 5 a.m. before the sun and dive into our morning routine. So what's part of your morning routine when you wake up? What are some of the ingredients that...
I love that.
Yeah.
Let's relate it to food. I also briefly wanted to add just about...
Hold up.
Sorry!
So
Okay,
Alexa just started playing music, which Alexa's a whole nother conversation.
Which that song was a good song. Oh, my heart is so good.
Yeah, shout out Lainey, I think.
Lainey? Yeah.
But anyways, talk about your ingredients.
Yeah, so I was just going to touch on the night before. I'm a huge advocate for doing things for my future self, which I think you are too. And so what that means for me is just preparing my future self for something. And when it happens, my future self thanks my past self for doing something. So, for example, I burn a candle every morning and I cut the wicks the night before bed, or I set up my incense the night before bed. Write out just the date in my journal the night before. It's just one less step in the morning. So then when the morning comes around, I have a few ingredients in my morning routine. And what it looks like right now is I wake up and I do breathwork, and then I do a meditation, anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. And then I dive into my favorite part of my morning, and I write. I do about 3 pages of just stream of consciousness writing. And
why 3 pages?
Julie Cameron has inspired me to write 3 pages. I worked through the Artist's Way course, which you did 3 pages of longhand, just stream of consciousness writing every morning upon waking. And I have been doing that for about 3 years now.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
And I wake up in the morning and I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to write about. And I think that's just phenomenal, because then I look back and I've somehow written 3 pages of whatever's come up. And so then after writing, then I read. Right now I'm reading Big Magic by Liz Gilbert.
Oh, right here. Dun, dun, dun. Big Magic.
So good. Creative Living Beyond Fear is the subtitle. And then after reading, then I do yoga, which is so good.
Which is usually when we first are connecting.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting thing to bring up.
Yeah.
So on my individual morning routine flow, after we get up, I have a similar sort of set of ingredients where I'm meditating, I'm breathing, doing breath work, which shout out to Joshua Wilson, Zen Life Dan, Wim Hof. Breathwork is so incredible. Tony Robbins comes to mind for me right now because he actually was the first person that inspired me to deploy a morning ritual. And all he really stressed was changing our physiological state, our biology, where we all know this. After a great workout, our mindset can be so crystal clear. So changing our energy in the morning with something like breathwork can really help get the literally just the flow of energy moving. So breathwork, I would say, is my favorite tool ingredient in the morning. But yeah, meditate, breathe. I like to listen to something inspirational. So recently I've been listening to a lot of like Fred Rogers interviews just to connect with that master guru energy. First thing in the morning when my brain waves are just slowly getting going and it's just seeping in and setting the tone for a great day. And I also love to read. This morning I was rereading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, which is one of my favorite books, I would say, for my spiritual journey. Is I've said before, I literally drank that book when I first read it because it landed so well. And then yoga, so exercise.
Yeah.
Where we actually don't talk that much when we're going through our meditations, breath work. We're kind of writing. We're in our own bubble, and then we usually connect for something like exercise. So for the first couple hours of the day, we're really in our own worlds, which that's actually something that's taken us a while to cultivate. At first, we didn't really know how to navigate that, being in a relationship and waking up together and still having this structure to spend time working on yourself, but also giving your partner or the other person some space, just space to connect themselves first.
Yeah, that's been an integral part of both of our mornings, is limiting the amount of human interaction with another person. And I mean, that's virtual interaction. So
no social media,
emails, text messages, all of it. Just eliminate it as much as possible, just so that you can enter your morning routine in just this blank space, essentially, like no thought. You're not influenced by external factors. It's just you and your higher self and whatever you're about to engage in. You can drink some.
Is this mud water or coffee?
Well, unfortunately, we ran out of mud water yesterday. But I did want to touch on mud water because that's a part of my activation of senses in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Tell the folks about how you activate your senses and each of those ingredients.
Yeah, so I have made it an intention to activate all 5 of my senses.
So
throughout
like
my
for
morning
breath work,
routine.
you're waking up your feelings. For
Yeah.
writing, go on.
Yeah, so for touch and feeling, definitely breath work and writing, just like pen in hand and sliding across a page. But then I burn a candle, I burn incense for both sight and smell. And that also just creates a warm glow. I carry that as we dim the lights in the evening. I carry that over in the morning until the sun rises. Then it's obviously bright, lots of windows and natural light. So smell, and then taste. We got mud water.
Yeah. New addition. Been so good.
Yeah, so this is just a little pitch for mud water because we have been loving mud water. It was an advertisement in a YouTube ad, and it worked for me.
It's a really good ad.
It was such a great ad because I had just been like thinking about removing coffee from my life. I wanted something that had a little more punch to it, checked off more boxes, and this stuff does. And what mud water is it's just this powder, and you put a teaspoon or a tablespoon in like 8 to 12 ounces of hot water in the morning, and then you mix it up, and inside that powder you have a bunch of different adaptogenic mushrooms. So there's, chaga and reishi, and then there's cordyceps and turmeric and sea salt and cacao. And each one serves a function. So there's like mental clarity, and then there's physical performance and like calming aspects, and there's parts that are supposed to sort of jumpstart the digestive system. And it's really just a lot more comprehensive for me. Like, I really have been enjoying the benefits of it. And I didn't have any withdrawals or anything switching from coffee. And it has about 1/7 the amount of caffeine. So I love mud water, and we just ordered more.
That's so good. Yeah, I've been drinking it now for a couple weeks, and it kind of feels like it checks off that coffee taste for me even too. It has this like rustic taste.
Oh, it has chai in it too. A chai blend. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not affiliated with Mud Water or anything. Just simply love it.
But we love to be.
But maybe after this podcast, we could send it to him and be like, hey, like we just simply love this product. The branding is so good. It's so simple. It's sleek. And
it's super
great for
sustainable
you.
and ethical also, which I'm moving more and more towards just living entirely sustainable, which is a huge step. But little steps like switching from coffee, like K-cups, which is just like such a huge source of plastic and waste, to Mud Water, which everything about their brand is just, they're all about sustainability and reducing their ecological footprint. So pretty sweet.
Let's do a quick little speed round of what's your most important ingredient that to you right now in your morning routine, and then what's one thing you definitely try to avoid right now.
My most important ingredient. So if I had to have just like one thing, if I only had time to do one thing, I would do writing. And I guess I would just do that because it really allows me to process everything that I don't really even, that I'm not even aware of that's going on inside of me or around me.
Nice.
So without writing, I'm nothing. No, I'm kidding. But writing is my number one ingredient.
And what would you avoid? Like, do not go this way. Warning.
Do not check Instagram for the first 4 hours of the day. Like, sometimes even I want to share something early on.
Right.
And I haven't even finished writing. It's really important to just finish writing.
Right. Because once you open up social media world,
It's a black
it just
hole.
it's like, all right, we got you.
Right.
You're in.
Even though my social media I've created to be a place of inspiration and encouragement and light and love. It's still like I'm saving all these quotes. I'm writing quotes down. I'm connecting with people, and I could do it forever. And my time limit on my apps is until 8 a.m. And so I'm not pressing ignore time limit before then.
Nice.
Yeah. What's yours?
For me, I think breathwork is the one thing I would take with me anywhere I go, for if I'm traveling or just going with the flow, and maybe I have a short morning window to get something done. Breathwork for me really just changes up my energy and clears my headspace, because it so gets you into the body, but also clears your intuition. At least it does for me. And there's so many fantastic YouTube videos you can follow along to and learn from right now. And it's free. It's just a beautiful tool that I'm so glad I know about right now. And I would agree with you. I think the biggest thing that I like to avoid is opening up social media or connecting with humans via text message, anything too soon.
Right.
Because as soon as I open that up, I start connecting with other people's consciousness, and then it starts to kind of creep into mine.
Right.
But the longer that I can wait to connect with other people's consciousness, and I can just stay connected with my own intuition, my own voice for a few hours in the morning before anyone else, even you, which is crazy. That's so helpful, because then I can show up and be clear in my intention and in my voice. So showing up in our relationship, and then connecting with other people out in the world at large, having that foundation is so crucial. And that's sort of a reason what brings us here to this moment, talking about morning routine and how it's been so helpful.
I think the last thing that we could touch on is how important it is to create the space and honor this solitude for one another in the morning, and just how much that has benefited our relationship. And we say that this is like our first relationship where it really feels just so true and so conscious and light. And I think I would give a lot of that credit to having a morning routine and spending the first 3-4 hours of the day solely with ourselves. Because we have the relationship that we have together because of the relationship that we have with ourselves. And the morning routine really just allows us to further connect with ourselves so that we can come together for yoga and connect with each other. And it's just enhanced our relationship times 100.
Well, it's an honor to share and talk about this with you. If anyone hears this and has any questions, let us know. Sarah and I have dabbled with the idea in the past of talking more about morning routines. And if this is helpful for somebody out there, definitely shoot us a message, because we're into this and always testing like what works. And mud water is actually a cool new addition, like replacing coffee in a way where you still get that, check that box, but you're actually improving your health and all those other added benefits of doing what's best for the world around you, sustainability wise, and it's just a cool thing. So yeah, and let us know, maybe there's some cool things out there that you're doing that we don't even know about yet. So,
and just one more thing for Mud Water, you can reach out to either of us because we can give $10 off. Once you buy Mud Water, you have access to give other people $10 off, and then we also get $10 off our next order.
Someone can message us.
Yeah, and then they give us their email, and then we send them a link for $10
and so they get $10 off.
We both do.
Oh, we both get $10 off.
We both do.
Cool. That's even better.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you.